be afraid. There are plenty of us here in Philadelphia. Walk like you got a right to. Won't nobody pay you no mind.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Nayomi Charnelle, and you have tuned into the Nayomi Charnelle show. I am so excited today. I have an awesome actor here with me, and I just cannot wait to get into the questions that I have for him. I am here with Joshua T. Shipman. You may know him from other things, but his most recent is from the movie Harriet. Hello.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good.
So, thank you for taking the time to be here
No
and contribute to the Nayomi Charnelle show.
No problem.
I've been actually wanting to interview you for quite some time.
We've been trying to set this thing up
Yes,
for a
we
while.
have.
It's perfect timing because it finally happened.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what better timing than to talk about the movie?
Yes.
But I want to pull it back just a little bit. Let's get into where you're from.
Okay.
And then let's talk about how you got into acting.
Okay. Well, I am from a small town in North Carolina called Hallsboro. Mm-hmm. It is, as people say, a dot on the map or a town that you drive through, but it's no place like home. I actually got into acting. In all honesty, I just think I was, one of nine. I have nine of us.
Oh, wow.
I have eight other siblings, 6 girls, 3 boys. The youngest boy of the family. So out of all of us, I just think I was really born with the acting bug, as people say. I don't know what it was. It was something that it was just in me. From a young childhood, I would be outside. I would be playing in the backyard. I would be jumping off ladders. I would do this. I would do that, imagining that I was in movies.
Wow.
Because I don't know, like after seeing, behind the scenes or watching TV, I would always tell my other siblings, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be on TV. I'm gonna do this. I literally felt it. And I knew it was something that I always wanted to do. And that's pretty much how it came about. So from that to grade school plays, grade school theater plays, numerous plays throughout grade school, then going into high school, I was kind of shy my 9th grade year, just trying to get a feel of high school. So after that, 10th grade came and a play came up. It's called Once Upon a Mattress. And
Once Upon a Mattress.
Once Upon a Mattress. It's about the Princess and the Pea.
Okay.
And it's funny because both my sister and I actually auditioned for it, and we both got it.
Oh.
She played my queen, in which, well, not my queen, but I was pretty much the servant. Yes. I played a magician. I played a magician who also turned into a huge parrot in the play, which I actually won a cameo award for that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was, oh my God, it was amazing. My first big play, and it was amazing. Shout out to Jamie Falk, who actually, I don't know if he produced it, but he brought the play together or whatever. Okay. And and that was actually also my chorus teacher at the time. Because I did do a little chorus. Now, I'm not a singer.
You're not a singer? Okay, because I'll make you blow right here.
No. I am not a singer. But, which is funny because we also ended up doing a musical called Sweet Charity, in which I actually did a solo. Right. But it was more of a carrying a tune. Yeah. There was no real
riffing.
Nah. I probably could if I had the right coaching or whatnot,
right.
I just don't feel it inside of me. I'm not a singer. I'm an actor at heart.
Okay.
So anyway, getting back to that, it was because again, I come from a very talented family. Yeah. And my sister, she could sing, she could act. I mean, it was amazing. Like we actually made the newspapers with it. It was an awesome play. Wow. From then on, I was like, this is exactly where I need to be. This is exactly what I want to do with my life and with myself. So, I did the regular thing. I got through high school. I made good grades, and I ended up going to Southeastern Community College after that, which is in Whiteville. they didn't really have a big theater program there. And of course, it's a community college.
Right.
So at the time, I'm still trying to figure out what my next move is.
Yeah.
So after getting my, just a general arts degree there, I ended up going to UNC Pembroke. And I'm sitting in administration. I'm looking through all the programs. I'm like, nah, checking things off. Oh, mass communication, broadcasting, check. This is what I'm gonna do. I figured it out from there. There was no, and it's funny how I hear most people go through college, and I'm not judging anyone, but it's funny how I hear a lot of students go through college and they're like, man, I changed my major like 5 times. It's like, what? No, I saw mass communication, broadcasting, TV, journalism, check.
Yeah,
that was it.
That was it.
I went through with it. Of course, a lot of my credits transferred for me, which helped me out a good bit. So I was probably at the university no longer than 2.5 years or so, and I ended up trying out for Carolina News Today, which is the school news anchor.
Yeah.
So I did that, and lo and behold, I made it. I made the cut, and I was co-anchor for at least 2 to 3 semesters.
Wow.
So I loved it. I loved it. Oh yeah, I loved it.
So what did you love about that?
Well, the fact that was more of me on TV.
Okay.
And see, I'm thinking this is only going to be, for the campus.
Yeah.
But I had no idea that they're actually seeing this in the county or surrounding counties. And I'm like, I had people telling me, man, I saw you on the Carolina News Today. I was like, oh, really? So yeah, I mean, again, it was just me experimenting, being on TV, basically confirming that this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Just be on TV doing something. It didn't matter what it was. And in all honesty, I really wanted to be a news anchor. I really wanted to work in the news industry. So
I could see you doing that.
I wanted to. And everybody was like, dude, you have the anchor voice. Like you have to be either an anchor or a reporter. I was like, well, I'm going to school for it, and I'm going to get my degree for it, and hopefully, we'll see what happens after that. But it went from, I was doing that, and I was also still doing theater shows at the university. My first theater production there was The Crucible. I played John Proctor because, in university level, they experiment with roles. Different races play different roles. I played John Proctor. Now, if you know of The Crucible, you know John Proctor was not...
Right, he wasn't an African
he wasn't an African-American man. But Holden Hanson, which was my theater professor then, he saw it fit for me to play that role. He said, you just have something about yourself. You're a serious actor. And I could see you playing that role, so I auditioned for it. I got it, and that was one of the most intense roles I've ever played in theater. It was, oh man.
What made it so intense?
The emotions that this guy is going through. If anybody remembers The Crucible, this guy was convicted of, sleeping around with a 16-year-old girl. And, this guy has a wife, he has a family. And back then, when you did stuff like that, you were automatically hanged. That was it. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And it's also, facing the whole witchcraft thing back then and there. So the conviction that this guy was under, and it's like he's holding everything on his shoulders. So I'm going through being questioned by the people of the community, being questioned by the church, and I'm also seen as a prominent guy in the community. So that's a horrible name,
right?
In any day and age, that's horrible, So it went from me going through all of these different trials, and at the end, it's just like he breaks down, and I've never played an emotional character. That was my first challenge with a very emotional character. So it was something that I dove into it. I loved it. It was like, in all honesty, our first show, I remember at the end, I felt my skin tingling at the end because it was so intense. And I know this is crazy, I pretty much almost starved myself.
Did you?
Yes, the first show, because I was so in tune with learning my script and knowing, because I had 90 pages of dialogue.
Oh, wow.
I'm the lead character in this play, so I was like, I cannot mess this up.
Right.
And it's borderline method acting, but I didn't really, I didn't go into this dark zone, but I was really focused on learning my stuff and knowing this character in and out. So I think that the entire day I had like probably a bottle of water and a snack, I think. And that's pretty much what I had the entire day, because I was like so focused, like nobody could take me away from this script.
Right.
I had to learn it.
Yeah.
I was just that focused, because I was like, I can't, I got everybody else on this cast riding with me. So I was like, I can't let people down. And it was funny because I think if it was the first or the second show, I actually almost forgot my lines. My lines almost went up on me. But it just so happened to be the part where I was questioned about the 10 Commandments.
Oh.
So I was able to play that off. Like I'm walking back and forth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I said to myself, oh my God, I'm literally forgetting my lines. Then it came back to me, just like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, everybody was like, you forgot your lines? I was like, I'm telling people I forgot my lines. They was like, no, you didn't.
Nobody could tell.
It was like, dude, that was perfect the way you played it off, because it was at the right time. But in theater, there's no cut, there's no, you can't stop.
You can't stop. It's like it has to keep going.
Yes.
And you either know it or you don't know it.
Exactly.
Or you better be able to improvise.
Exactly.
And if you don't have that, then it can be disastrous.
Oh my God, yes.
Thank goodness for your skill.
Yes.
And so what I was going to say was, one thing that Regina King said that I found so interesting. She said, I didn't choose acting. Acting chose me. Do you feel that? Do you feel that in your heart, that acting chose you?
Most definitely. Most definitely. And I say that with such passion because I've done a lot of things. I've had numerous jobs in my life, and nothing comes close to just being on set and becoming somebody completely other than who you are most of the time. And it's just you're in a world where it's not, each day is different. Each set is completely different, whether it's film, commercial, TV, theater. Each thing is different, and it's like that's the only thing that kept me going for a long time as far as like my career choices. Because again, with me going to school for mass communication and broadcasting, I thought for sure I was going to be in a news anchor. I thought for sure I was going to be a reporter. But when I got out into the world and I graduated from Pembroke and I started working at ABC4 in Mount Pleasant in Charleston. And, I started out as a assistant. I think what you call what is the word for that? Production assistant. Okay. I started out as a production assistant, and I was like, this is cool, everything. I didn't realize that you really have to like work your way up in this field. Like, it's a lot about who you know. It's very political, as in any huge industry would be. I mean, TV news media is very political, and there's a ton of guidelines that you have to follow.
Wow.
Like, you could be working one day, the next day you're like, hey man, you reported something wrong. Yeah, and you may not have that job the next day. So it's very, very, very strategic as well. To say the least. So I was like, okay, now I'm not gonna let that deter me away from it. But at the same time, it's like my acting just kept calling me. I was working at the the TV news station for about a year. And there would be times where I'd have to leave work early to travel from Mount Pleasant to here to Raleigh. I was doing plays. And it's like, I'm not thinking about this stuff while I'm doing it, but because it's like, this is my passion. I'm like, it, you know, and at the time it was just like I wasn't really getting paid for these theater shows that I was doing, but I loved it so much that it didn't even matter. I would just, you know, it would just, I gotta go do this. You know, I gotta leave work early to go do this. So I was going from, and at the time I was staying in Little River, South Carolina, which that's 2 hours. That's 2 hours from Mount Pleasant. So I was going from Little River, going to work. Sometimes I would leave early, sometimes I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But I would get off work around, I had to be to work at 4 a.m. in the morning. From 4 a.m. in the morning till about 11 a.m. if they didn't have any breaking news. So if I can get off work early enough, I'd shoot straight to Raleigh after that. Then I go from Raleigh, do rehearsals, or I'll even do a full production, and then go all the way back to Little River. And this is all because acting, like you said, acting chose me. I mean, there's no other way around it. So anytime a gig would come through, my email and audition, I'd book an audition, it's automatic. I either had to call out, or I'm like, hey man, can I get somebody to switch with me this day? It was a no-brainer. Yeah.
And I'm glad you mentioned about the going from one job and going to Raleigh to do, you know, you weren't getting paid for it.
No.
But because you were so passionate about it, that's what kept driving you.
That's right.
So walk us through how you prepare for a role.
Okay. Depending on the character, if it's a commercial, most commercials are comical. You know, they see a lot of comedy in commercials because, you know, that's entertainment. So most of the time I see what, you know, I look at the breakdown, and because they give you a breakdown of the character and what they want you to portray. And a lot of times I just really use a lot of life experiences, and I kind of mix that in with whatever they're asking me for. They could be asking me, and a lot of times it's improv. So they could be asking me, you know, just, hey, be a guy at a barbecue with friends and you guys are enjoying this. So in the best way possible without being over the top, I go in here. And it comes out through here. And I just see myself at a barbecue. I see myself with friends amongst me. It's all about, a lot of times it's about using your imagination, like beyond what you can see or feel or even understand. So that's what I do. Now for a film role, especially like if you're playing like a period piece, like Harriet or anything else that's a period piece, then you know, you got to kind of do your homework. You got to kind of understand their language back then, the way their dialect. Because a lot of times when the people ask you to play a period piece, most of us probably go into that slave kind of monologue, in which that's not even the case most of the time, because my role in Harriet, I wasn't a slave. So a lot of people, when I told a lot of people I was in Harriet, they were like, "Oh, are you playing a slave?" That's the first thing that came to mind. And which there was so much more than just slavery back then. You know, you had slavery, of course, but then you also had places like Philadelphia, where Black people were successful. They had homes. They had small businesses. Not even some of them. They had big businesses. They had you had revolutionary African Americans back then. So they're like, you know, the first thing they asked me was like, "No, I'm not a slave." I said, I don't want to really talk about it too much, but you know, you'll see. But for that role, and that kind of goes into something that I was reading in a book last night, matter of fact. How do you see yourself as an actor or an actress? How do you see yourself? For the most part, a lot of people, when I come across a lot of people, they may see me as very intellectual, or they may see me as very, I want to say serious, like a serious guy, maybe another word for it. I was just talking to somebody else on the phone about this, and they may see me as like a very strong character, a very serious, very strong intellectual human being. So that tied into the Philly vendor, and is what a lot of people told me. Like, you were perfect for that role because that fit into your character. That you're very inspiring person, or you're very like you're mentor. You have that mentor personality about yourself. And with him, and he's reassuring Harriet, hey, you're here now. Yeah. Just be yourself. Be yourself, and just we welcome you here. Yeah. We're not trying to take you away. You're not a thing here. You're somebody. So it's many different ways I prepare for roles. Be it, like I said, a commercial, theater. It's all about finding how that character connects with you.
Yes, yeah. Absolutely. I agree. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Oh, no problem. Nope.
All right. As life happens, things happen, and it kind of sets us back, and it kind of questions why. It makes us question, why are we here? Right. Would you care to discuss something that may have happened in your life to make you question, okay, what's going on here?
I'll say, and most people who know me probably know this. My dad passing about going on 3-4 years now.
Sorry.
Thank you. I say that when that happened, because it was very, very unexpected, and at a time, it happened at a time where I wasn't really that active in my acting. I mean, I was still doing things. I think around that time, I was actually still doing like theater shows and stuff like that, plays and that sort of thing. And I mean, I was probably doing like small commercials here and there as well. But at that time, I think in the back of my mind, I would always like, why, of course we always ask why,
yes.
why did that, why do we have to lose someone that dear to us? Yes. And it kind of, it sparked a fire in me too, especially after seeing my mother kind of struggle with that a lot. And it made me really look at the situation in a way where it's like, you know what? I could be one of these people who lost their parent and just checked out.
Right. That happens.
That happens a lot, and I understand that. Or I could be this person who, you know what? This is going to make me an even more stronger, and to allow me to go after my dreams even more, because now, I really want to be able to put my mom in a mindset where, and then of course I have all my other siblings, and we stepped up. We definitely stepped up. But I want to put her in a mindset where I'm still making her just as proud as I was making my dad proud when he saw me always succeeding in school, always bringing that smile, putting that smile on his face whenever he would see me graduating, or he would see me accomplishing this goal. So that's one thing that I live for now when I'm doing this stuff, is to continue to make my mother just as proud, and make her feel like, and let her see great things, like I would want my dad to when he was still here. So again, it gave me the fuel to go even more stronger and harder at my goals. And I mean, I can almost imagine his face when, like, just knowing my name is actually in the lights now. Right. And it's not to say that I'm this big artist now, or this big actor. And over time, time will tell if I will become that person, or when I become that person. But just to see that I kept at my dreams this long, and now I'm a part of something huge. I'm a part of something that's bigger than me. Right. That I can see it. My sister and I were actually just talking about this, and it's like, we can see our dad smiling now. We can see our dad just, him I can see him sitting in the theater right now, just smiling.
Yes.
Like, this is amazing. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Wow. I want to, before we talk about how you landed the role in Harriet, and I want to talk about what led up to it. Like, how did you find out about it? How was the audition?
Okay.
Let's walk us through that.
So it's funny, having prior work with the casting director, Erica Arvold. I saw casting, I would follow her page, and I would always look out for castings that she had going on due to me working with her before, or being cast through her before. So I would always look, I would always check her page to see what's going on. So I came upon this casting call one day, and it said for period piece, it said in 1800s casting call, casting for many characters. So I was like, So I went through the breakdown of all the characters, and I sent my information in, and I tagged my agency, which is Evolution Talent Agency based in Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
And I tagged them into it, and I want to say a week or two later, I ended up getting an audition. So it was for a specific character, and I got it. And you know what? At this time, I was getting, I'm not gonna say tired. Like all actors, we go through that period where it's like, my God, we've sent in so many auditions, and I think I did like 7 auditions before this, and I did not hear a single thing about any of them.
From other movies?
From other
commercials,
commercials, films, TV stuff, and I was like, I was probably mentally drained at this point.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine, he asked me to go to Atlanta with him around this time, with him and his wife, and we went to Atlanta, and we were hanging out. His family, they have a nice, amazing home there in Atlanta. So we're there, and we're sitting in an entertainment room. We're looking at, I think we were probably watching a football game or something like that. And when we got there, it was like, they just had this food just sitting there, just waiting on us. Like, oh my God, some of the best fried chicken. Of course, not better than my mom's, but it was some of the best fried chicken I ever had. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, after this, I probably ate about 5 pieces of chicken.
Wow.
I'm like, after this, I know I'm gonna go to sleep.
Yeah.
But I got an email, and I'm looking at my emails, and it was like, okay, there's a reminder. I still have this audition that I have to turn in about 2 days. So I'm like, tired. We just got off the road. I just had this food. But something was like, do this audition. Yeah. Something just kept telling me, do this audition. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna rest up for about an hour or so. And then I told my homeboy, I was like, look, man, I got this audition I want you to help me with. I said, it's quick. I said, we just gotta set up some lighting. So we found a generic setup in the house, home lighting. We probably had like 1 lamp, probably.
Okay.
Probably had like 1 lamp, but the backdrop was perfect. We didn't need a backdrop at all. We had like a vanilla wall. So we set the lighting up, which was perfect. I mean, this was some of the best home lighting I've ever seen. It was literally almost like a studio. So we did it. He helped me read my lines. I put it together on my phone, and which I've done like 90% of my auditions. I've done them on my phone. Yeah. I edit them on my phone, put it together. And at this time I had an iPhone 6. So I'm having to delete stuff, get all, just so I can put everything together. Yeah. So I did it, no problem. Sent it through my Actors Access, no problem at all. And so I let it go, as I do most auditions. I don't linger trying to figure out, biting my nails. Just let it go. Yeah. So right in the beginning of Hurricane Florence, I think it was a day after after the first part of the storm had passed, and we were going into the aftermath of the storm. I get an email. I'm at my sister's house. I have no signal out here, and my phone rings. I get this email. You have a callback for Harriet. I was like, what?
I'm excited.
I have a call. This is my first major feature film, and I got a call back for it.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, I didn't go to no fancy studio to shoot this audition. So I'm blown away.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is crazy. So I immediately sent a text to my home. I'm like, bro, like we got a call back for this audition that we just shot, excuse me. And I look into it, I see the date and everything, I respond, confirm or whatever. And now around this time, the roadways were horrible.
Yeah.
The roadways were flooded. So I think they pushed the call back a week later. So it gave the roads time to clear up, and I was able to get to Virginia, no problem. So I got to Virginia, thought it was gonna be a simple go in and read for that part that I auditioned for and leave. I got in, and Erica, she was like, hey, I want you to read for these many characters. So I think I read for about 5 different characters.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, this is, I don't know which way this is going, but it feels good. It just felt good. Erica's amazing, by the way. Erica Alvo, she's amazing.
Oh, and she can sing. Oh my goodness.
She is amazing. So we read for the characters, and I think she gave me all the characters she wanted me to read for. She said, all right, go out while I do the rest of these auditions. I want you to just read through these. Read through them, came back, and shot them. I think about a week or 2 later after that, I just started getting all these notifications about high consideration. I'm in high consideration for this. I'm in high consideration for that. I'm in high consideration for this. So I'm trying to keep myself contained. At the same time, I'm like, okay, let me go into prayer mode, praying, I'm writing my affirmations. I'm already claiming this. I'm already claiming this. Now, I didn't get the part that I actually auditioned for, but I ended up getting Philadelphia Vendor.
Yeah.
And when I found out that I booked it, I was like, I didn't know whether to feel excited. I was nervous at the same time. I'm like, this is a feature film.
Yes.
Like, this is my first ever feature film, and I have lines.
Yes.
And lo and behold, did I know that, I saw in the scene that Harriet was actually asking me a question.
Yes.
But I'm not thinking this is Cynthia and Revo, man. I'm just like, okay, all right, cool. We're gonna do this thing. So the day of, I get there around 9:30. I got to what they call the honey wagon. I got to my honey wagon, which is our trailer that we have, personal trailer. So I got there and I'm reading over my script, costume. They make sure my costume is right. I put on my costume and I'm just sitting there. It's all sinking in. I'm like, I'm about to go on set with a Tony Award winner, and she is making huge strides right now in Hollywood. And of course, I was nervous. I got to set. They had a stand-in for me. The first time I ever seen a stand-in for me. I'm so used to being a stand-in or doing that work. I'm like, I'm blown away. Like, I have a stand-in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm walking on the set. I see him walking off. I nod to him. That's what's up. All right, cool. I'm maintaining composure right now, and I'm just seeing the whole scene. I'm just seeing it. It was downtown Richmond, Virginia, and they just completely transformed it into 1800s.
Wow.
Horses are everywhere. Carriages are everywhere. Everybody's in period piece clothing. I'm like, wow. I'm just looking around. I see this huge crane with the camera on it. I'm like, this is it.
Yes.
This is it. This is what I dreamed about since childhood.
Oh.
So we're going over it, we rehearse it. Cynthia comes in. They give her directions which way to walk from. They give me directions of, how to, they're gonna shoot this thing a few different times. And they say, all right, we should go over your lines. So we went over our lines, and they say, all right, we're gonna shoot this thing. Yeah. We do it a couple times, and Casey Lemons, the director, she comes in one time. She says, I want you to do this. I want you to do that. That was it.
Wow.
I was like, come on now, this can't be this. I mean, it wasn't easy, but don't get me wrong, it wasn't easy. But I was like, something's not right about this. I was like, this can't be this smooth. It's this smooth. Things are going too well. And I'm like, man. So we wrap. They announce it, and that's a wrap for Joshua Shipman. Everybody claps. I bow. I walk off scene. I go to Cynthia. Can I please get a picture with you?
Yes.
I got a picture. Is in my old phone. I'm so mad at myself right now because I'm still trying to retrieve this picture because I'm like, I need this picture.
Okay.
We took a picture in costume right after the whole thing, because she wasn't. They were setting up for the next scene, so they weren't quite ready for her to come back in yet. So we get a picture. She was like, and I'm not making fun of her accent, but the way she spoke to me, she was like, so graceful, so graceful. You were amazing.
And
I was like,
she's
oh,
from London, right?
Yes.
She's, okay.
I was like, oh my God, this is Cynthia telling me I was wonderful.
Wow.
And like, she's just so down to earth. She's so sweet. She's such an amazing human being.
Yeah.
And she's uber talented.
Janelle Monáe. She was awesome.
Oh, yes.
She did an awesome job
Yes.
as her role. Did you get to meet with her or see her or?
You know how funny that is funny you ask. I just like fitting on the day of fitting. I walked in and was like, you know, Janelle Monáe just left, right? I was like, what? It's like she just left like 10 minutes like before I arrived, and I so wanted to meet her.
Yeah.
I met pretty much everyone else except her and Leslie Odom Jr. I didn't meet him. A lot of the cast, we were actually invited to the mayor's house for a lunch or like a social. We actually got invited, and I also lost that picture as well. I am so bad, and I literally thought that I had, because they asked me to upload these photos right before I switched my other phone over, and I thought I did. But when I got my other phone, I was like, well, there's nothing but older pictures on here, and I was like, I had so many good photos on that phone from this production, and I'm just praying that I can retrieve them through email or something like that, because I think I sent them to my agent. Okay. And I'm still trying to figure out if I can get those back somehow through her. But again, you know, I met most of the cast. Yeah. I didn't get a chance to meet Janelle Monáe or Leslie Odom Jr. But I mean, it was amazing. This whole process, the entire production, the whole time, from the table read all the way up until after my shoot date, it was amazing. The wrap party, amazing. I mean,
red carpet. Was there a red carpet for the opening? Or the premiere? I'm sorry, premiere of the movie.
It was. I mean, hey, it felt that way to me.
Yeah.
Because the one that we were invited to was at the Bird Theater in Richmond. Okay. And I mean, hey, we didn't even need a red carpet because it was, oh my God, it was packed. It was packed, and I thought we were just gonna be in this like this private room or something like that, but no, it was actually at the Bird Theater, and it was awesome.
Were your family there? Did your family come? Or
they didn't get a chance to come to the screening, at which I think it was myself and like a guest. Okay. My family's huge. Oh, so. Okay. But they did see it. Yeah. They did see it, and I mean, from almost tearing up to just being super proud. Man. Yes. I mean, it was. I know Mama was super proud. Oh man. She already brags to everybody about what I'm doing. So I mean, anybody who knows her and knows me, they'll tell me, hey, your mom brags about you all the time. Yeah. And I said, hey man, I mean, this is one of the reasons why I'm really doing this. Yeah. Like that's my goal, is to really make my mom proud. To make my mom proud at the end of the day, you know, and to do things for her at the end of the day. So yeah,
gotta take care of Mama.
Definitely. Yeah.
So if let's say a 10-year-old came up to you and said, Mr. Shipman, I've seen you in all these movies. I think I want to be an actor. What advice would you give that child, or let's even say an adult.
Yeah.
What if someone older, if anybody who was interested in acting, what advice would you give them?
Dream big. And when I say dream big, I don't mean just think it. Go after it. It does not matter where you're at. It does not matter where you're from. Do it.
Yeah.
Make a way. Connect with people. If you're really trying to be if you're really trying to be an actor or actress, take it serious.
Yes.
This is like you going to a 9-to-5 job. Take it serious. Like, people are gonna tell you that you're wasting your time. People are gonna try to tell you that you're better off finding a real job. You know how many people who are actually close to me who have told me this in the past. They pick people for things like in this industry. They pick certain people, or it's a wish. Because people tell me it's a wish. People have told me that, dude, you're better off pursuing this. Never let anyone tell you what you can't do because they didn't do it.
Exactly.
Because most people see this stuff as impossible, but if you feel it in you,
Yes.
do it. Go after it. Connect with people who are already doing it, that you know that you can get in contact with.
Yes.
Go beyond that.
Right.
Continue to network, continue to put your stuff out there. Get into local theater.
Yeah.
That's where I started. I started in theater. That's my background.
Yes.
If you can't do theater, network with people who are doing short films. Network with creators who are right there in your neighborhood.
Yes.
Get to know people who, y'all could put together a simple act.
Yes.
Work with people who are like-minded. You got to be strong. You have to be strong-minded. You have to have elephant skin in this industry because it's a very tough industry. Nothing is ever going to happen overnight.
That's right.
It took me years, over 5 years, to get in front of a very prominent casting director and to actually get her attention. So, I was doing local stuff all the time, but to actually get in front of a casting director who helped put me in one of the biggest films this year, and it's going to go on forever. This film is going to last forever. This film is going to be shown to history groups. This film is going to be shown to your children, your grandchildren. This is our history.
That's right.
So, with that being said, I never let anybody stop me. Me being from Hallsboro, North Carolina, I never let people I never let people's thoughts, opinions interrupt my dreams. So that's cool. I hear people, like I said, people have told me that I was wasting my time.
Yeah. And a lot of times people are afraid of your success.
Exactly.
Because they don't have it. So they're afraid of what you may become.
Exactly. And they see it now. And again, it's not that and this is the problem with a lot of people. A lot of people feel like, yeah, he accomplished that, but he ain't making millions of dollars. Not yet. And it's not all about me getting to making millions of dollars. This is something where I didn't come from a rich family.
Right.
I came from a very hardworking, two of the most hardworking parents in the world. And I didn't do acting classes. They didn't put me in all these talent shows.
Right.
They didn't do all this stuff. I had a dream.
Yes.
And I held on to it. And I just kept going after it somehow. I just kept navigating way through. I've been through the scams. I've almost been scammed by all of these overnight successes or overnight quote unquote talent searches. I've done that. I've learned from it. And we're all gonna go through that. We're all gonna go through people who they're gonna do all these productions and they're gonna pretty much waste your time.
Yeah.
I've been through that too. But it did not discourage me because I knew there was a bigger goal.
That's right.
I knew there was, as they say, light at the end of the tunnel. So I just kept at it.
Right.
And that's what I would tell anybody, adult, a child, hone in on it.
Okay.
Hold it, go with it. Like you're a football player. You see those guys in the NFL, how they're holding on to that ball? That's your dreams.
Yeah.
Take your dreams, go through whatever player, go through whatever line is right there in front of you.
Yes.
Go through it.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. And just keep doing it.
Yes.
Keep doing it. It don't matter. You're gonna start out, you're not gonna get paid as much from doing certain things. If you're doing it for money, then you are wasting your time.
Yeah.
Sterling Brown, exactly. Yeah. Sterling Brown said it best. The money will not sustain you. The fame will not sustain you. You have to want this. Like, you can't wake up one morning, well, Joshua did it. Well, Joshua's doing it, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? I want to be famous. I want to be rich and famous. Everybody's getting to know him now. No, that's not why I'm doing it, though. Yeah. Trust me. Yeah. I've been doing this stuff since childhood, basically. Okay. Professionally, over 7 years. Wow. And you see some of the biggest people now, some of the biggest names in entertainment, they'll tell you, they'll give you their story, and I'm nowhere near them. 19 years to get where they're at. Yeah. It's not an overnight thing at all.
It's definitely not. Yeah. So you have to keep at it, definitely.
Yes.
I'm sorry, one more that I wanted to squeeze in there before we close out.
No problem.
Who would be your dream actor or actress to shoot with?
Oh man, hands down, Denzel Washington. I mean, and trust me, a lot of people might say, "Oh my God, he's the answer to everybody." No, that guy is really my hero. Yes. He's a hero actor. Yes. Like this dude, I've seen him do almost anything, and he's so good at what he does.
Natural with
and this man, and he trains like he's just starting out. I mean, man, when I see the young guys get to work with him, it's like, I wonder how that was, like, just to walk on set and be like, I'm here with Denzel Washington, like this is crazy, you know?
Yes, he's the GOAT of acting.
Oh,
he's the GOAT
hands
of acting.
down. Actress, oh man, there's so many of them. Halle Berry, of course.
Of course.
Halle Berry, of course. You know, she's always been my actress crush, as anyone else, I'm pretty sure.
But what female actress do you admire for her acting skill? Just like you said, Denzel Washington is, you know, his acting skill is phenomenal. What female actress would be comparable to Denzel in your eyes?
Viola Davis, most definitely. Yeah. Viola Davis, and I always say, if I ever had someone play my mother, I would love for her to play my mother in a film. Yeah. Oh my God, I would love for her to play my mother in a film. I don't know why, she just has that motherly, or Felicia Rashad.
Yes. She's the mother of all mothers.
Yeah, she's the mother of all mothers when it comes to this industry. I'm just letting you know, she's amazing. God, no, she's amazing. And Taraji P. Henson.
Oh yes.
Oh man.
Oh, yes.
She's always been my actress crush coming up as well. Like, she's flawless at anything she touches. Any script she touches is just boom. That's why she's where she is. Yes, you know, and her story is amazing as well. You know, just back then, going to California with $700 in her pocket and her son. Yeah. Come on, man. Now look what she is.
Exactly.
Hard work.
Yes.
Hard work.
That's what it's about.
That's what it's about. Yep.
All right. So I'm going to have you look at the camera and tell everybody where they can reach you.
You can reach me on Facebook. You can reach me, Joshua T. Shipman. Same thing on Instagram, but it's Joshua.T.Shipman. I don't really use my Twitter much at all, really. But email shipman.joshua87@yahoo.com.
All right. Yep. Well, thank you all for joining me today on the Nayomi Charnelle Show. Special shout out to my guest here, Joshua T. Shipman.
Thank you for having me.
Who has just been phenomenal. I am so proud of you, and I'm so happy, and I can't wait to see what God has for you coming up next.
More on the way.
That's right.
Definitely.
Bye, y'all. Till next time.